She moved in.
Was your roommate?
Yes.
Did Miss Glass, Miss Carr, did you know her before she moved into your apartment?
No, I did not.
Did she answer an ad? Is that how she got your apartment?
No, she got it through a friend of mine.
And you have a one-bedroom, two-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
What was her rent?
$375.
And how long were you living in bliss with the defendant?
In February, and it was fine. You know, we totally got along. It was fine in March. And it kind of started to go down at the end of March. You know,
Now, had she paid you for February?
Yes.
She paid you for March?
Yes.
When did she move out?
At the end of May.
She pay you for April?
Yes.
She pay you for May?
Yes.
So why are we here?
Because she left at the very end of May, and she gave me 5 days' notice to find somebody new and decided that she didn't have to pay anything else.
Did you have a lease with her?
No.
So?
She just left.
You weren't getting along?
Correct.
Is that right?
Right.
Why weren't you getting along?
Well, I didn't really know. There wasn't enough communication between the two of us.
But you knew enough to know that you weren't getting along?
Pretty much. But there was never enough, oh, well, I'm moving out. Oh.
It's hard to live with somebody.
Yes, it is.
Well, since she paid you for the months that she was there and she moved out 5 days before the end of the month, did she owe you any money? I mean, other than the rent. I'm not considering the rent.
Before that, she didn't pay the deposit when she moved in, but I said, don't worry about that until June because, you know, at the end of June, the other roommate, blah, 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 was going to get hers, and then she could give it to me then.
Fine, so we're not talking about the deposit. But other than the rent, she's paid up?
Oh, no, there's several phone bills. And
What phone bills?
Which phone bills?
Mm-hmm.
There was phone bills from, the statement date was on June 23rd, and then it went back into May. It went from May to June. And there was a $40 900 call that I shouldn't have paid, and there were several long-distance phone calls.
In what amount? Come, quickly.
Around $75
In long-distance calls?
in long-distance calls.
Okay. Tell me why you left.
I left because living with her was unbearable. I went through, starting back at the end of March, early April, out of the blue, I started getting notes on my bed saying, you need to stay away from my friends. When I first moved in with her, I had just moved down to California. I didn't know very many people. Tiffany was nice, and she took me out. She introduced me to people, but then she tried to take that away. She said, you stay away from my friends. My friends are my friends. Your friends are your friends. You're going to make my life miserable.
So girly things.
Girly things.
Girly things. All right. Girly things. You paid February, March, April, and May. She says that you owe her $115 for phone bills.
I owed her approximately $150 for everything. That was gas, everything. And I told her when I gave her 2 weeks' notice that I would be leaving, that I will pay that. You just send me the bills to my grandmother's house, and then I'll send you a check. But when that happened, she began leaving harassing, vulgar phone mails on my voicemail. I would get them at work. They would disturb me at work. I would have to leave work because I would be so upset. I got harassing I have copies of the messages on papers. I have letters that she sent me threatening me.
That you owe her money?
That I owe her money, and if I don't, she's telling I quote, every living soul what I have done to her. I didn't do anything to her. I was protecting myself. I left. I didn't have to give her any notice, but I gave her 2 weeks' notice, being the last week of May, and then the first week of June, and I gave her 1 week's rent.
For June?
For June. I have paper here.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Carr. We don't even have to go into that. She is no longer claiming you owe her any money for rent because I'm not giving her any money for rent. I believe that you paid her all the rent that she's going to get. So you acknowledge that you owed her some money for phone bills. Is that correct?
Right, yes.
Good. Fine. Then we have no problem. Judgment in this case is